Hey guys, in this video I'll be comparing Andrew Jacked and Phil Heath to see just how well Andrew could have done against a slightly weaker yet very underrated Phil. As the 2024 Olympia gets ever so close, many people are starting to make their predictions and some even have Andrew as the winner due to his overpowering aesthetics and very dominant, imposing frame. So I thought who better to test Andrew than the 7-time Olympia champion Phil Heath. Do you guys think that Andrew can push Phil or even win the 2024 Olympia? Let me know in the comments down below, and let's break down the shots. The front double is surprisingly close between these two, considering Andrew is quite possibly one of the best ever to hit this pose. While Phil is, good and he has all the right body parts, but does lack the aesthetic flow. Andrew is almost making a mockery of Phil in the arms, which is shocking because Phil is known for having some of the most complete arms in history. Looking closer, Andrew is not beating Phil in the forearms or the hardness. However, he still has more bubbly and undeniably larger arms in the upper half, like especially in the biceps and triceps. Now, his sheer shoulder-to-shoulder width is even more revealing of Phil's narrow structure, and that waist and those bulbous lats seal the deal in my opinion for Andrew upstairs. Now, I'd give the quads to Phil since he clearly has better outer sweep, and a kind of fuller look as well, plus the lower body looks more complete due to the calves. All in all, I think that Phil looks good for himself, however, Andrew is miles ahead aesthetically, and really draws your eye to the arms, torso heap, and even the quads, so I would give it to Andrew. The front lat spread is a dominating win for Andrew since he's blowing Phil out of the water in the upper body with width and flow. Look at how his chest and shoulders are perfectly inserted, and they are also strided to a T, how the midsection is simultaneously tight and defined, and those quads look great and fit in with the world-class upper body. Both are comparable in the lat coverage and visibility, however, Phil's scrunched, almost closed-off posing makes it seem as if he's trying to escape this pose as fast as possible. He seems very uncomfortable, and it shows through the very unaesthetic posing style. Sure, his quads, arms, shoulders, and the chest are objectively well developed and conditioned. However, the pieces for Phil really just don't fit the puzzle, I'd say. The side chest is where Phil's sheer development and mass combined with his phenomenal detail shine and destroy. While the video isn't the highest quality, you don't need eyes to even feel the razor-sharp conditioning that he has, along with the bursting full quality of the arms, delts, and chest. He's killing Andrew in the depth and quality of the side, especially in the side glute feathering, and his posing is way more impressive. I do like Andrew's chest, delt, and arm, however, his posing lets him down. Sure, he is challenging Phil in these areas, however, it's a no-brainer to decide on a winner. Phil takes this one by a mile, even beating Andrew in the midsection control, display, and definition. The rear double, like the side chest, is a pose which Phil obliterates Andrew in. His back is in a league of its own, quite literally having its own area code for both sides. His traps, lower back, and lats all pop and almost jump off the screen, and his delts and arms look twice as refined and detailed as Andrew's. Like we saw in the front double, Andrew is no slouch in the arms. However, here the size really isn't everything, and he looks soft in this area in comparison to Phil. His back might be good compared to the guys he goes up against today, however, Phil is running circles around him in the back and looks far more complete upstairs in my opinion. The legs are even more of a dominant win for Phil, since his glutes and hamstrings are some of the best of all time, whereas Andrew is known for having a weaker lower body from the back and the side. Definitely a win for Phil, with Andrew not even coming close in my opinion. The rear lat spread is basically the same story as the last pose, so to save you and I some time, I'm going to quickly run through the main talking points. Phil wins the back and legs, with there really being nothing more to the pose. Now, Andrew may have the width in the lats and a relatively decent amount of condition. However, come on guys, look at the pure polish and refinement Phil brings. There's a reason he's a 7-time Mr. Olympia champion. He clearly has what it takes to bring top-notch condition, and if Andrew can do the same, I think he could be a repeat champion as well. The side tricep, like the side chest, is another pose in which Andrew can't seem to pose right. I feel like a broken record talking about this, so if you care about what I think of Andrew's posing, you can watch any other video comparison that I've made on him. You can't sit there though and tell me he doesn't look awkward, almost in the same manner Phil does in the front lat spread, and he really isn't beating Phil in any muscle anyways. Phil matches the fullness, if not beats it, of the chest and delt, while bringing a far better arm with a nicely feathered tricep, and that side leg really needs no introduction. Certainly a win for Phil with no further explanation needed. The ab and thighs, where Andrew can catch a break from the almost unbeatable Phil since he once again takes a pose for himself. Honestly, apart from the front double, it seems as if every other pose has been a very dominant victory for one or the other. Here that is the case again, since Andrew smokes Phil in the midsection, having the same sized waist but with far better ab symmetry and width upstairs. Those lats on Andrew really protrude in the best way possible to give him an extremely wide look down into that very small tapered waist. The quads are relatively close between the two, with Phil probably taking them for similar reasons to, the other frontal poses. However, this one alone isn't going to be enough to call the pose a 50-50 in my opinion. Andrew clearly has the most aesthetic proportions and great details from head to toe, and there's no way in any universe that Phil would win here. That said, the most muscular is a pose which Phil probably wins against almost anyone in every universe. He's overpowering Andrew in the arms, especially the forearms, and has that rounded off look to the delts and triceps. His midsection isn't an issue and is already overshadowed by the tremendous arms and legs, which make this pose look incredible. Andrew does have a great look and brings aesthetics to the pose. However, he looks flimsy in certain areas compared to Phil. Look at the thickness disparity of the forearms, calves, arms, and the chest between the two. There is really no comparison between them, and I think, almost anyone would go with Phil. Anyways, that's it for this comparison. I do think that it turned out as I expected, with Andrew winning his 3 best poses but losing all the rest in a pretty dominant way. I don't think he is going to be at the Mr. Olympia level just yet, since he needs better side posing and better conditioning from behind. However, if he shows up with these things at the Mr. Olympia, it may be game over. Let me know in the comments what you think of this comparison. If you enjoyed, a like and sub would be awesome, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.